Welcome back to BYU Sports Nation. Jeremy Jordan alongside Dave McCann, the new record holder at BYU in the 1500. She's headed to Nationals, Track Down USA. Carlee Hansen's in studio. Carlee, congratulations and welcome to the show.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Okay, let's walk through your run. A new record, 4:07.64. Did you feel like, hey, in the middle of that race, hey, I'm about to set a record here, I'm going to qualify, everything's great?
Not at all, actually. I mean, to begin with, most races, at least in the 15 in my opinion, you have no idea how fast you're going, and especially championship races, the idea is just compete. You just race just to advance. Coach Taylor always says, like, survive and advance. That's what the end of the season kind of is, and I was kind of having that mindset going in, like, hey, like, you got to compete with the best of the best to get where you want to be, and if it is a school record, so be it, you know? So, yeah, was not expecting that, though.
What does it feel like to be among the best to ever do it here? I mean, there's been a lot of runners come through.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, what does that feel like?
It's inspiring. I was talking to Anna, actually, before I left, and we were just kind of going over her.
Anna Camp Bennett?
Yeah.
Whose record you broke?
Yep. Well, she just was kind of telling me that, like, you know, she was walking through when she won the national title and what that meant to her, and just to talk to her about that and the steps, and realizing I am following every step that she is, and I can aspire to do great things just as she did. So it's inspiring.
Tell us you sent her a text after you passed her.
She sent me a
Okay,
text.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's the way that's supposed to work.
Yeah, I know.
Someone texts you, right?
Sometimes you have to.
When you break it.
No, it goes
Now,
both ways.
I say you broke Anna's record. You actually broke Riley's record, because Riley Chamberlain broke the record 5 minutes before you in the heat before you, then you broke her record?
Yeah, it was, I mean, if she was in my race, there is no doubt in my mind she would have broken the record too. So it's just nice to always have that kind of just ambition. We train together, we run together, and I know if she was there, we would have been crossing together.
Does she get like a T-shirt that says school record holder and then 5 minutes?
I broke the school record for 5 minutes, and all I got was this
All I got was a
stupid
T-shirt.
Yeah. So the school, what's bigger, the school record or qualifying for nationals in the process?
I mean, after conference, actually, the race even before conference, I crossed the line. I hadn't run a good time, but Coach Taylor was like, I thought the school record was going to go down. And I was like, oh, like that's something I can, like, make a goal. Like, that's something I can aspire to do. So I think it was in the back of my head always this season that, like, you know, that's a benchmark I want to get to. But I'm going to be honest, like, I'm hungry. Like, nationals is the goal, and doing well there and showing up and proving to the world, like, what I can do is kind of the end goal. School record's nice, but it's definitely not the end.
Well, you've had quite a journey. For a while there, you're wearing Carolina blue.
Which is the second best blue there is.
Yeah, and that's right, with your history with the Tar Heels and Carolina. And now you're here, sitting here today. How do you describe this journey you've been on?
I would say it's surreal. I believe that God will take me wherever I need to be, and I served 2 years there, and I don't regret it. I learned a lot, I grew a lot, and I came here, and I mean, we've been talking the last few weeks just about how blessed I feel to have perspective and, you know, and grow as a person. And I don't think I could have necessarily had that perspective just coming straight to BYU. Do I wish I had more years under Coach Taylor's belt? Yes, but, like, you realize, you look back on life, and it's more about who you're becoming rather than the times you're running. And it really did define, you know, who I am as a person, and two, how grateful I am to be now at BYU and excelling and being happy and married and just loving my life, you know.
Preach, Carlee. Let's talk about your husband, Creed. Can you take me higher, Thompson, who also qualified in the 10K, I believe.
Yep.
What's it like for both of you to be able to go?
It's a dream come true. After winning that national title together and standing on that podium together, I was like, I can't top this. This is best day of my life. I told him if he hadn't proposed that he had to there, if that were to ever happen. Too bad we were already engaged.
Yeah, sometimes that gets in the way.
Yeah, but that was a surreal moment right there. But to then qualify for nationals in track, not gonna lie, this is just adding on to the dreams come true, and to be showing up in Eugene. He sadly didn't get to watch my race. They were on a flight home, but he texted me and he was like, you did it, like, you're going. And neither of us have been to the national championship, so this is big for us, and it's really just a moment for us to count our blessings and just look back and be like, holy crap, that's us. Like, we're doing it, like
awesome.
the Thompsons, you know.
So how do you motivate each other? Where you send a text going, hey there, I think you could have gone a little faster.
He holds me to a high standard. We go to bed at 8:45 every night.
Or super early.
Yeah,
you guys get up
super
early? Are you running early in the morning?
No,
You just
I
want
sleep
extra
in,
rest.
but we just sleep like crazy. He holds me to a high standard on achieving great things, and
Nice.
to achieve those great things, you gotta do the good things, you know. So
Early to bed and early to rise
Yep,
makes
yep.
a man or a woman healthy, wealthy, and wise, as the primary song goes. We're talking to Carlee Hansen.
Glad you remember that. I'm
Right?
impressed.
Yeah, it was a good, it was a good hymn. Excited for the new hymn book, you know? Those hymns are great. Talk to us about what you're hoping to accomplish in Eugene, because obviously Hayward Field is iconic. $200 million from Phil Knight will do that. It's Oregon, it's the Nationals, it's, hey, I want to make a statement there. I'm going with my husband. BYU's highly ranked. What's this moment like coming up June 11th through the 14th?
well, I mean, humility is the thing that comes into my mind, because after doing great at regionals, you never want to get an ego. So I'm going into it more humble than ever. But I also know, and you don't ever do anything by accident. You don't ever win a national title by accident. It's all according to plan. So I'm kind of going into this meet knowing that I could do something great. And that was always Coach Taylor's plan for me. And knowing that and believing in myself is all I need to then do what I need to do, you know.
Let's talk about Coach Taylor and the video that Track and Field posted of when you break the record and she comes over and you guys embrace, and there's this little barrier that's there for no reason. I'm like, just go around it, just hug. You're over the barrier. What is this moment like for you?
I mean, for 2 seconds, I'm going to be honest, my competitive side was like, oh, I looked back. I knew I was safe. I should have gone for the win. What was I doing?
In your heat.
In my heat.
Yes.
And then the second moment was like, wait a sec. I just made it. Like, I just did that. So it was a little overwhelming. I was having mixed emotions about, my racing instinct, but also to having Coach Taylor there the whole time cheering me on, knowing that she knew I could do this the whole time. And I embraced her, and she was trying to look at me, and I was like, I just want to hug you. Like, I just want to take in this moment. And it was special. It was meaningful. And I know, like, going into Eugene, that she's always there for me and always my right-hand man and all of this, and really for all of us, too, which is incredible.
Describe the mood in this program now. It's a championship program. It doesn't matter if it's cross-country, indoor or outdoor. This is a group at BYU that competes to win. What's the vibe inside the program?
Well, it's great. I've never seen more of a womanhood ever. I mean, it is unique coming from North Carolina, having another team to compare it to, but also just to compare it to the rest of the NCAA. There is no better vibe, I guess you could say, than I've ever seen. We were showing up before the race, just listening to music, dancing, having fun before the race, and I would say that my teammates are just incredible in the fact that we always uplift each other. We always tell each other we can do the great things. I mean, I didn't have an excellent indoor season. I mean, people look back and they're like, oh yeah, like greatness, yeah, of course it would come. You think it just is, they take it for granted, but indoor was not according to plan for me. And I could easily get down on myself, but they lifted me up and they held me to a higher standard. They said, you can do great things in outdoor. This doesn't define you, and you need to pick yourself up by, your straps and just do it, and they held me to that standard, and they always do. And we train with them every day. Like, we run together every day. Like, we have this bond, but more importantly, to have someone lift you up when things aren't going well is what is overlooked and arguably more important. So.
And isn't it great when they're right?
Yeah, they're always like, I told you so. I'm like, oh.
I knew you could do it. You were like, well, I had to run fast, but we publicly we see a lot of kind of football and men's and women's basketball practice and so on and so forth. What people don't think about is how many times you are either by yourself or just with a couple of people running on that track. Walk me through, like you were talking about, the time spent, arduous stuff. And we just heard Ashton Reiner once, Deep Blue, the realities of how difficult it can be as a person to compete at a high level like this. What you've overcome to get to this point and hopefully make another splash in Eugene.
Yeah, the thing that comes into my mind when you say that is just the importance of having fun. I know people say that all the time, but it really is critical because so many people break at this point in the season. Or just break from the pressure. And I used to battle those feelings and anxiety and those thoughts by thinking, just don't think that, right? Just replace that thought with just not negative. And I realized the absence of evil, the absence of stress, the absence of all those things is not just the absence of it. It's the good, and it's the excitement, and it's the sport, and it's the fun, you know? And I always, every race since outdoor, I've told myself at least at one point in the race, I have to smile somewhere in the race. And I try to hold myself to that, because if you can smile amidst adversity, struggle, someone cutting you off or whatever, you're going to come out of it a winner. So.
What's crazy is Coach Taylor could be sitting here instead of you, would be getting the same answers. The same perspective.
That's the messaging, right? Yeah, that's great.
What she preaches is now what you preach. Isn't that
For
that's
sure.
great?
She resonates with all of us.
Yes,
I would say.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Talk to me about the hair.
Oh.
Was it aerodynamic? Talk to me about the look here. I think we have a photo, but
Yeah,
right here it's nice and straight, but in the meat, yeah, you got like 7 layers going on here.
I mean, it was humid there, and I
Absolutely.
was like,
College
I need
Station.
it slicked back. I need to have it in like every ponytail holder as possible. So I mean, I would say that's my signature hairstyle. I've
Love
actually done that a few times.
This
I've
is the
mixed
look.
it up. The look. I've mixed it up. I've done some braids. Taylor Lovell often does the hair in our team, so she'll braid my hair sometimes. But
Inspired by NASA, so that everything just goes just right.
Yeah.
NASCAR's been consulted, just the aerodynamics crazy. Well, congratulations on the school record, qualifying for nationals, and tell Creed he can sleep in one day too,
I will.
Best of luck in Eugene. Thanks for coming in, Carlee.
Thank you.
We're proud of you.
It's awesome.